Good morning, everyone, and welcome. And guess who I'm interviewing today? This is Dora Francis. Dora is up in Polokwane. She has traveled all over South Africa. Good morning, Dora.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Charlotte?
Fabulous, thank you. And I just love your hair and I love your glasses. It's a beautiful
Oh,
statement. It says something
thank you so much.
like
Love
you.
your hair too.
Thank you. Dora, we're talking about women empowerment. And for the people that are watching this, Dora has been in the corporate world in Vodacom for over 20 years. Now that is something to be said, because in today's world, most women, most youngsters jump between jobs. And there's nothing wrong with it. It depends on where you're going. But Dora has clearly found her niche, and her speciality is marketing and sales. So Dora, well done for that. That longevity is huge. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
It's
thank
possible.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you, hey.
Dora, on the topic of women empowerment, how have you observed it changed in your industry, in the telecom industry where you work? What have you noticed changed in the 20 years that you've been there?
Okay, so in the time that I've spent in the corporate environment, some of the things that I've picked up on are actually quite things where women were actually waiting for someone to actually acknowledge them to be able to get to somewhere. And you would want people to then see what your potential is, and at the same time you would want them then to acknowledge you and then take you to the next level. And that is where things like gender equality came in, where we now look at what are the things, how do we then get a woman to get to a leadership level. Um, and that has evolved now, where a woman now has to take it within themselves now and actually work towards that change. So when we talk about empowering women, it's no longer about somebody then seeing the potential in you, but you yourself seeing that potential within yourself and working towards it, um, acknowledging that it starts with you before somebody else can see that, making time to actually then develop yourself so that when the opportunities arise, then you are also ready to take up those challenges. So that's the huge evolution that I've seen, that it is at the time when we were seeing a woman requiring acknowledgement. Now we're at a stage where it's not only about that, but it starts with you. You need to start seeing that within yourself first, work on yourself first, so that when the opportunity arises, then people are able to acknowledge you.
Hashtag, it's an inside
Yes,
job.
it's an inside job.
Dora, who's been your role model in this arena?
So, so Charlotte, I honestly haven't had one individual in particular. So in the space that I'm in, I take good things from different people. And if you really look at the corporate life and even the social life, there's so many things that are so interlinked. There's so many things that you can learn from your friends. There's so many things that you can learn from your parents, your mother, and even, the people that you actually, your colleagues. So in my space, I have actually just made time to take one thing from each individual. And in some cases, I've taken more things from other people than the others. But I would say in general, I've once said to my mother, if we were actually one age or the same age, we would actually be twins. So there's a
Wow.
lot that I'm telling you, there's so much that I've taken from her. Yeah, but generally, I am somebody who picks up on different things from different individuals, and not just focusing on one person and seeing how they live their lives and how I can live mine.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And looking forward,
Oh,
what would you advise any of the girls out there who are watching this on women empowerment, even if you want to suggest something for the gents out there on women empowerment going forward in the corporate world specifically, what would you say to them?
Okay, so I would say definitely be clear on what you want, um, on what you want to achieve. When you have that clarity, start putting it down on paper. Build the life that you want to live, starting with a piece of paper, and then start with the activities that you require to then be able to get there. And in that way, sometimes, yes, there might be some other challenges that you may face, but then it doesn't mean that, you cannot go back to where you want to go to. And maybe even those challenges may lead to an evolution of your actual map on where you wanted to go. And it could even build something much better than your initial goal. So it starts with you, where you want to go, see yourself there, and start behaving like it. And
That's
you
a big
will
one.
actually, yeah, start behaving like it, and you will start seeing things coming through. And sometimes it may come as a surprise. Sometimes you will know that you worked very hard to get certain achievements on your belt.
And can I ask you one more question? The
Yeah.
longevity. How did you manage to stick out in one corporate job for 20 years? I mean, that's huge today. And what is your secret to that?
Well, I think the most important thing is with being in the same company, but still experiencing different positions so that you can grow as an individual. That's important. If you 20 years in a company, but you are doing the very same thing that you started doing then I would see that as a problem. So in the time that I've been in the company, I've actually just moved from one position to another, one position to another. And that goes with the level of flexibility that an individual has, and also the passion to want to grow and try different things. Once you are in one environment and you realize I'm becoming more complacent, it's important then to realize where to go to next. And where to go to next does not have to be another company. It can still be within the same company where you can get a different experience. So you may feel like you have moved around, and it actually is a good feeling to know that you've moved around in the different departments. You've gotten different experiences, and those different experiences have helped to develop you and build you to a certain position that you eventually land in. Yes, so I would say make sure that you do not stay in the same position for 20 years. But it is okay to be in the same company and then explore the different environments that exist within that space.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm hearing there for all the girls out there is longevity comes from an inner drive to want to know more, to upskill yourself, to cross-reference,
Yeah.
test, push yourself out of your comfort zone, try new little things, stay within an organization, get to learn as much as you can, as long as you're doing it because you want to do it. The inside job of
Uh-huh.
empowerment. That's what I got out of that. That was like amazing. Thank you, Dora.
Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thanks.